So guys, welcome to Sports Vibe TV. It's great to be down here in Cardiff Bay with you both ahead of the Extreme Sailing Series. Ed, I'm going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about the Extreme Sailing Series for people that don't know much about it.
So it's a sailing regatta run in various different locations around the world in 40-foot catamarans, which are boats with two hulls. They're very powerful, fast boats, and we race on short courses close to the land, and there's a lot of action and close calls throughout the week.
Stevie, you're the skipper and you've also competed at 2 Olympic Games. How does extreme sailing compare to that?
Yeah, it's a different kettle of fish, you know. I mean, I think the idea of the extreme sailing is to kind of bring sailing to the public and to the crowd. You know, we're right here in Cardiff city centre. You know, we're right on the waterfront. People can see close up what's going on, but that brings its own problems. You know, the wind's coming around buildings. It's quite unpredictable. It's a little bit like Mario Kart, but on the water, basically. You know, so every now and again there's a magic mushroom comes through and shoots you along, and there's, as Ed said, it's pretty close. There's plenty of banana skins out there to trip you up. So you know, it's exciting, it's fun, but it's a little bit less calculated and controllable than we would have over a 4-year campaign to the Olympics.
Okay. And Ed, I know you've got ambitions of competing at the next Olympics. How much have you learnt from Stevie about that side of things?
Yeah, I've been working with Stevie and against Stevie in the 49er for a good few years now, and he was obviously a few years ahead down the line with his campaigns, and so
what it means there is I'm older. That's what he's politely trying to say.
Being polite. But so we've learnt a lot, and we sort of trained with Stevie in the build-up to the last Olympics, and learnt a lot from that, and been trying this time for this cycle, and hopefully we can get there in Rio, but we'll see what happens.
Well, in my limited experience of sailing, I've noticed that it's really important that you've got great communication between you and your teammates. So how much time do you spend outside of the water together just to sort of develop that side of things?
I think, you know, it's something in the 49er that both Ed and I sail. You know, it's something that can happen and naturally evolve because you've got the time on the water. The trouble with these boats is, you know, a month ago we were in China, a month before that we were in Muscat in Oman, a month before that we were in Singapore, so you've never got the boat, you can't train. So actually, you know, with 5 of us on the boat, it's really important that you define your roles and make it clear who's going to talk when and where, so that, you know, jobs get done but it doesn't get over kind of complicated. So it's absolutely essential. The communication side of things is absolutely essential on the boat. You know, like any good business or successful operation, you need clear and, you know, and confident communication lines, and I think we work pretty hard at that. And as a new team, it's hard for us. You know, teams like the Wave Muscat and SAP Racing have been around a bit longer than we've been on board Oman Air, so it's kind of easy for them to have that in place, but we work very, very hard away from the water to make sure it's good.
Well, I'm sure you've got to know each other pretty well, so we're going to test that a little bit. I'm going to ask you a few questions and see if you can agree on an answer. So first things first, who's the most likely to fall into the water?
Fortunately, this was we've got proof of this already, and that one is a straightforward win for Ed, who when we were in China a month ago, no, it was between us, mate. No, between us, not the team.
In Singapore, Ali fell in.
Yeah.
But he was gone. He had to be rescued by the rib. I managed to hold on. Yeah. Mine might have been in the race, which is a little worse, but I managed to climb back on.
Okay, well, we'll move on to the next one. Who is the loudest?
Ted Hackney, the Australian, pretty much a definite answer there. I think it's genetically bred into him.
And between you two, who's the loudest out of you two?
Probably I need to make the most noise, and Ed has the potential to be the loudest if something definitely needs doing.
Okay, who is the funniest?
What, to look at or to
However you want to perceive it.
Ted to look at, definitely. I don't know who the funniest is.
Stevie's a joker on board. Yeah. I like to think he is.
Yeah.
Some of the moves he pulls, I think he was joking.
Not that we can publish, no.
Okay, we'll go the other way then. Who's the quietest?
I think
Ali probably.
Ali maybe, but he can step up. I mean, I think maybe Nasha is the kind of the more calculated guy on board the boat. Nick Asher, who's our tactician, and that's kind of his role. He needs to stand back a bit and look over things. He's not as involved in the manoeuvres like Ed and Ted and Ali. And I think those, Ed, Ted and Ali are very physically pumped up, and they're doing an awful lot on the boat, and that kind of will lend itself to more noise coming out. Whereas for Nick, he needs to be a bit more calculated and calm. So probably Nick, I'd have said. And
finally, just out of you two, this one, who would you say is the most intelligent?
Oh, well, he went to university, so that, therefore, case closed, I presume.
Agreed.
Didn't mean I learnt anything, but I got a certificate.
Well, that counts. Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. It's been great talking to you, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.